Bitter Harry, the hope of harmony between Duchess Kate and Meghan was doomed. Despite Harry's desperate wish for his wife and sister-in-law to get along, the signs it would never happen were there all along. The biggest royal news in academia this week has nothing to do with Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, making a stunning appearance at the premiere of Bond, or Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess, recent DIY tour, the Duke of Hypocrisy in New York, with a $41,000 wardrobe, blacked-out Range Rovers, and a perennially revolving field of aides looking like a man. Instead, this week, a letter from Mary, Queen of Scots, to her cousin, Queen Elizabeth, was made public, literally rewriting the history between the two women, revealing that the Queen of Scotland had sought to reconcile with her English bête noire. The feuds, like the blood disorder of the Hanoverians, were forever a part of the royal family life. Although Kate may not have the power to behead anyone these days, as Elizabeth eventually did with Mary, there is a certain fascinating symmetry between that situation in the 16th century and now. The two women may be allies, but end up on opposite sides. Two women who shared higher positions, had titles, but found themselves in a years-long battle for people's hearts and minds. Okay, that and British Dominion, but you can turn me off. For almost 3 years now, the supposedly bad blood relationship between the Duchess of Cambridge and the Duchess of Sussex, who is responsible for this, has been raked over and over again. But what if we ask the wrong question? What if Kate and Meghan fail? Just a few days ago, it's proving that you can't buy class. Markle was wearing a $10,000 designer outfit, which makes her look like a bag lady, and in New York, where she and Harry were filming their Netflix show, and Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, wearing her $1,500 designer dress, which makes her look absolutely stunning, when she attended the premiere of the latest James Bond movie in London. Another pathetic debacle for Meghan, who desperately wants to pretend that she's Catherine with her Barbie doll. And now she's decided to become just like Catherine. And instead of pushing Harry aside and forcing herself onto every stage as she does so well, she's now playing the lovely, non-confrontational stand behind your husband and let him control everything card, thinking she will now be accepted as Catherine. She has absolutely no emotional intelligence that would tell her that she'll never be Catherine and she'll never be equal to Catherine. So accept her position and be the best Meghan she can be. But being just Meghan, she's back to square one, and it's just a matter of time before she explodes. And I'm waiting to see when and how she figures that out. Then goes back to being pushy, brash, a royal misfit that she is. Seeing the comparison of her picture in New York with the most dowdy, ill-fitting pantsuit next to Catherine, dazzling in gold, she must be snarling like the wolf that she is. This is what emotional deprivation looks like. This week, we got new insight into their troubled relationship thanks to the legendary royal biographer Andrew Morton, who is re-releasing his 2018 book, Meghan, an American Princess, with 6 new chapters. In it, Morton, the journalist Diana, Princess of Wales, came in early 90s to get her story out into the world, reporting that the palace crouched behind to help the Sussexes, and Meghan was awarded the formidable backroom officer to help her transition into royal life. Far from abandoning Meghan, the palace has a team that spends hundreds of hours monitoring social media accounts, and threats of violence have been reported to police. He wrote, "From the outset," in Morton's account, Kate and Meghan's relationship will never be one of late evenings, vino bonding sessions, or giggling behind the gowns of Princess Anne, wearing a gown at the Festival Army. Instead, when she first met in 2017 in January, it was a brief meeting that the Suit star kindly gave the Duchess a small birthday present, a Smithson leather notebook, in case you were wondering. Meghan is assured by Kate that she is always available to help and advise in this strange new world in which Meghan has found herself, Morton wrote. Harry was desperate for Meghan and her sister-in-law to bond, a tall order given their contrasting careers and social backgrounds. But like the Queen, Kate offers a friendliness, but not friendship. Her cold and somewhat reserved nature will have profound consequences. She shines from inside. What we see is the results of being happy and content inside, plus a very good taste in choosing that suitable outfit. Harry's wife doesn't have herself any type of taste. It was very hard for the royal teachers to work on an empty support. One can educate the taste, but there must be an essential condition fulfilled. The base, a minimum that can be enriched and developed. I'm sure that, left alone, Catherine knows what she wants and her choices are perfectly suitable for events of any kind. What Harry's wife's choices are, left her on her own. We see each time that she shows herself to the world, casual or festive, the woman has no taste. I've noticed this time that she makes soldier steps when she walks, big like a hurry in a man. My Fair Lady would have failed with the Markle woman, sadly. Henry Higgins would be a very unfulfilled professor indeed. He wouldn't have had the material to work with and so on. He would have lost that bet. Ovid's Metamorphosis, if we chose to go the route, would have been born dead. According to Morton, the two women enjoyed a fractious relationship at its best, and that there was little love lost between the two. Elsewhere, he wrote, not only did Kate and Meghan not get along very well, but even after the wedding, there was little opportunity to develop a strong friendship beyond public events. Harry's dream of two united, happy families seems far from derailing. Morton claims that Harry has had images of casual duchesses and giddy families chirping with what last year's Finding Freedom, whose author writes that Harry once told a friend that he has pictures of getting married and spending time with William and Kate, the two couples together, their children, best friends. All of this raises a hitherto overlooked question. Was Harry simply expecting too much? Are his expectations of two pairs seamlessly forming a great quartet even vaguely realistic? Will this particular fantasy never come true? Context is everything here. As of 2017, Harry and Meghan have been dating for about 6 months, and things are clearly serious between the duo. At some stage during their courtship, William is said to have sat his brother down for that infamous talk when he said, "Don't feel the need to rush it. Take as much time as you need to get to know this girl," which reportedly left them in a state of frustration. It was also a seismic year for William and Kate as the family moved from their Norfolk home in Amner Hall to London and began their full-time working royal careers. Not only that, their expanding roles mean their workload is doubled. Their oldest child, Prince George, is starting school, and around the end of the year, the Duchess is pregnant. Pregnancy and severe depression. This woman is quite sick and mostly tired. Likewise, Meghan, for much of 2017, was filming her final series of Suits, packing up for her home in Toronto, closing the blog, The Tig, and moving to London. She also found time to take a humanitarian trip to India with World Vision to tackle period stigma. In the wake of all this total upheaval, were images of Brady Bunch's coexistence ever even a distant possibility? Was Harry's desperation for a woman nothing more than wishful thinking? In addition to both being enamored with the prince, Meghan and Kate come from different countries, religions, and economic backgrounds. While Meghan entered the palace as a self-made millionaire, Kate has never even had a full-time job. While the former was married and divorced, the latter had a long relationship with William for over 2 decades. While the British found their way into the company, taking care of every inch, the Americans won it little by little. So why is Harry laboring under the notion that Kate and Meghan are destined for BFFs? Is it really surprising that there is no happiness forever? While it seems clear from this distance that both couples played a role in making the situation unfold, it was Kate who was single and found desirable. While it's not necessarily her responsibility, Kate has done little to bridge the gap with Meghan, the Freedom author wrote. Likewise, Meghan fully expected Kate to be able to reach out and lie to her about everything an outsider needs to know. That's not the way things are. In hindsight, though, Kate and Meghan were essentially dead in the first place. That is, have they never formed the kind of bond that Harry and the public seem to so desperately desire? Even princes cannot come true through sheer optimism in the face of a cold and difficult reality. Last month, Meghan overturned the score 4-0. Here's to hoping that Kate has given her something nicer than a simple Smithson notebook, so there's always the chance to make a fresh start someday.